back with another video. Sitting here in the Walmart parking lot. It's a little slow, so I thought I'd make a video. My video, I kind of wanted to talk about, isolation and your early days of sobriety. It's really not a good place to be. And you kind of fall into isolation. You kind of default to isolation in your early sobriety because, you're trying to stay sober, you're trying to stay clean, and you don't want to hang out with, your old friends, your old places. You have to learn how to change people, places, and things when you're first getting, clean and sober. And it's not a good place to be because you have to find new things to do. Whether you got a DUI or, you're choosing just to get sober on your own. You have to replace whatever that void becomes. You have to put something positive in that place, because isolation will lead you back to relapsing. It'll lead you back into your old behavior. I've seen some people, say, well, I'll be okay. I'm just going to go hang out with my friends. I miss my friends. I'm just going to play darts and I'm going to get some old duels and, just not drink. I'll be okay. And what ends up happening, an old saying that I always say, is that if you hang out in a barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. Same rule. If you're not changing your places, you're going to end up adapting back to that place and not moving forward and trying to stay sober and clean. And that goes into recovery. When I first got my DUI, I was forced into being sober because I was court appointed to go to rehab, and I had to go to AA, and I had to go to NA, and that was a blessing in disguise because here I am today in my 60s using what I learned along the way of getting sober, going back into relapsing, getting sober again, going back into relapsing. So pretty much what I'm sitting on today is a foundation of strength and knowledge on what to do and what not to do. And to be honest with you, my headspace right now is not good, and I was thinking earlier today, it's just like, man, am I actually going to trudge through this sober? Normally I would go drink because I've been under so much stress trying to make money, and jobs aren't picking up at my work, and I left 4 hours early today and because there was no work, and I came out here. I wanted to drive a little bit because I know every single month I'm going to be short on my rent. I have a solution for that. I have a solution. I'm going to downsize. I'm going to get into a cheaper apartment. But I got 6 months to struggle because I'm in a lease. So where is my headspace at? Thinking it through. This is only temporary. You persevere. Get through it. Because the harder you work, The harder you stand strong, the better off you're going to be. And that goes back into, your early sobriety and addiction. Just don't isolate. If you love God, go to church. Find new friends. Pick up a routine, because you have to fill that void. Figure out what you're going to do. What is your routine? If you don't work, get up every morning and do the same thing. Where is your trigger points? Where's your triggers? Are they at night? Are they early in the morning? Are they in the afternoon? 9 o'clock at night? My trigger points for me was nighttime. About 9 o'clock, midnight. I found meetings to go to during that time where my trigger points were. Luckily, I was blessed with a meeting. It was called a Hoot Owl meeting when I lived in the Auburn, Washington, Algona, Washington area. They had a Hoot Owl meetings, and they would start at like 9 o'clock and go until midnight, 1 in the morning. And a lot of times when I went to those meetings, I was out of my mind. I wanted to drink and I wanted to get high so bad. And bless my daughter's heart. My older daughter, she'll be 36 this month. And she was just a young girl. And I go, Mama's got to go to a meeting. Mama's got to go to a meeting. I'm not doing good, honey. I got to go to a meeting. I used to feel bad about it, but I think it's better that, your kids and your loved ones see you do that than to see you go out and drink and drug again. But isolation is not good. You have to figure out something to do. Because if you don't have anything to do, you're going to revert back to your old habits of drinking and drugging. Whatever your choice is, at the time, you're going to revert back to that. So just reading, go online. Get the AA book. Read the AA book. Get an NA book. Pick it up. Read it, because you are what you read. You are what environment you're going to be in. So if you feed, positivity and you're reading good stuff, and if you want to go to church, if you want to find an AA meeting, you want to find an NA meeting, if you can afford, an online counselor, do that. But fight for your sobriety. Fight to change and get a better life. Fight for that. Because you put a lot of energy in drinking and drugging. If you take that energy that you put in to drinking and drugging and revert it into all that energy into sobriety and recovery, it's going to be better. And making these videos is therapy for me. It reminds me that where I'm at, I need to get out of that. Feeling sad because I'm struggling. I mean, the struggle is so real. I worked all my life to be able to be somewhat comfortable, and the economy is just chewing me up and spitting me out. But I'm not going to drink over it today. I'm not going to drug over it today. I'm not going to pick up a cigarette. I don't smoke anymore. I'm not going to do that. Because I can handle what I'm going through much, much better being sober. I don't know. I just got a wave of emotion because it's real. And if anybody comes across this video and, they're sitting alone and they're lonely and they're struggling, just find something to do. I mean, even if it's making a glass of sweet tea, and you don't have a lot of money, go to Value Village and get yourself a puzzle, and just do anything but drink and drug. Go for a walk. Do 50 to 100 jumping jacks and scream at the top of your lungs. But you'll get through it. You'll get through it if you just try. And just every second, if it's second by second, don't drink. If it's minute by minute, don't drink drug. Whatever your choice was. Whatever you did to escape. And then, get down to the nitty gritty. Why am I drinking? Drinking and drugging is only a symptom of what's really going on in your life. And I learned that too. It becomes a habit. Yeah, it becomes a habit. But it started for a reason. Mine started for a reason. I figured that out, what that reason is. And once you face your problems and your pain and your trauma, so I know a lot of people out there, I've heard some stories that, oh my gosh, no wonder you did what you did. Let me give you a hug. But you face things so much better when you're sober. You face things so much better. If you have depression or you're grieving, the last thing you should do is drink and drug over that. Because you're intensifying it, you're making it worse. And I'm not getting a lot of views, but if I can just give one person hope, just one person hope, that would mean everything to me. That would mean everything to me. And I'm struggling today, and it makes me sad because I'm working so hard. I'm being bullied at work, and luckily I got a good manager that's sticking up for me, because they're laying people off, and so much is happening. And today I was feeling the shitty itty committee was going off in my head today, but I said, no, you got to keep trying. Because I literally said out loud while I was driving, are you going to go through this sober? And it was just like one little line that I said, but that little line blew my mind. Literally blew my mind. It was like, yes, you're going to go through this sober. You're going to go through this sober. Yes, you are. And you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. The struggle is real for me, man. I'm like, I got to hustle all month long just to, make up a couple $100 so I can pay my rent. And then I got to hustle a little bit more so I can buy food. And somebody told me the other day, well, why don't you just give up your car? My car gets me to work. My car gets me money. I'm going to keep my car. I'm not in debt. It's just that the price of rent, and I keep my car insured, and I want to keep the lights on, and but I'm not going to drink and drug over it today. And I'm not going to isolate. I'm not. Get out and I walk, through the park, and I get up and I sort through, stuff that I have accumulated over the years. I just keep my mind busy. I just keep go, keep my mind busy. I don't go to NA or AA meetings anymore. I don't do that, but I do read my books that I mentioned in my video before. I do read my books and keep my mind fed, and keep, and what you read You know, if you're reading the Bible or you're reading a book on recovery and all of that stuff, if you just feed your mind with that stuff, it'll stick with you. And you can't go back to your old friends. You can't go back to your places and not drink and drug. And if you think that you can do that, you're fooling yourself. You're absolutely fooling yourself. I'm just going to hang out and have an old duels. I'll be okay. No, you're not. Pick a side. Pick a side on what you're going to be on. Just pick a side. You can't have one foot in the door and one foot out. You just can't do it. You have to pick a side. You hang out in a barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. It's going to happen. And if drinking and drugging has made your life unmanageable, then you got to fix it. We got our normies out there that can have a drink or two, you know, and then go months and months and months without it. And then you got people that, I was excessive. One beer led to another beer. Another beer led to another beer. And then that beer led to a shot. And then that shot led to a cigarette. And then my judgment came impaired. And I get behind the wheel of a car. And here we are. I was sober yesterday. I'm sober today. And I want to take people with me in this, on this journey, on this ride. I want people to comment on my videos, ask me a question so I can make another video and you can listen to my answer. You know? But with that, I'm going to end this video with, if you made it this far, thank you. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and the like button. Get me out there so this video can get to somebody else that feels hopeless and discouraged. Leave a comment on, you know, possibly on what, if you have a question, I can answer the question. We can talk about it. I can talk about it in an upcoming video, which I'm trying to be more consistent, but working and driving and, you know, trying to survive. Last video I was trying to make it, my phone kept shutting off on me. I don't know if that was a sign. But in conclusion of this video, do not isolate. Do not sit at home. There's a whole world out here. There's a whole life out here that you can do it in sobriety and in recovery. Go to a gym, go to a church, you know, look online for AA or NA meetings. If you can afford an online counselor, get an online counselor. Pick up a new hobby. You got this. You got this. You can do this. I want to help you do it. Okay? Well, the end of my video. I love you. And I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.